everyone, and welcome to episode 15 of the Girly Nerd Podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about all things pop culture, like movies, TV, music, theme parks, all the fun things. I am your host, Marianne, aka the Girly Nerd, and today I am joined once again by my good friend Sarah. Thank you again for coming on my podcast.
Thanks for having me.
And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about our favorite films from the year 2005. So it's the 20th anniversary of these movies, which is insane to me. It doesn't feel like 20 years since I've seen these movies and that they came out. It makes me feel old.
Same.
And it's like the concept of time is so strange to me when you think of that. So 2005 was like an absolutely incredible year for film. There are so many amazing favorite films that came out in this year, and such a healthy mix from like every single genre. You know, romantic comedies, straight romances, fantasy, adventure, thrillers, dramas, comedies. I mean, you name it, there was a good movie from 2005 in all those genres. And it's the kind of like mix and amount that I really miss. I mean, it's been a long time since it's been like that. So I had a hard time narrowing down my list. Did you have a similar problem?
I didn't have a hard time narrowing it down. For me, it was the struggle of ranking them because, at least for me, my top three I probably love equally.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of ranking them. But I also just, even looking at all the films that came out this year or that year, I could not believe the sheer amount of movies. And I went and looked at the Academy Award lists for that year as well, just to see like, you know, what were the big ones. And I remember that being a really competitive year. It was like a fight for each award. And it's like no one knew who was going to win. I remember Crash getting Best Movie, and it was like,
oh, that was
no one could believe it, you know. And it's actually funny that we don't really the Best Picture nominees are not on our list.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen Crash.
Well, it made me think that I wanted to ask you, when it comes to, like, when you see every year the list of Best Picture nominees, do you think to yourself, oh, I should probably watch those? Or are you more of a, you know, I just want to watch what appeals to me? Do you like to buy into the hype of the Best Picture nominees and
like
try to watch them?
Sometimes it's like a little bit of both. It always will be like, what is this movie about? Does it look appealing to me, whether it's nominated for an award or not? I feel like recently there's less and less that I like even have heard of that are nominated, and much less ones I want to see. A few years ago, not last year, the year before was really good. There was like a lot of movies on like that looked appealing to me, and then I actually saw a lot of them. But like I do enjoy like looking at the history of the Oscars, seeing what's nominated, and try to watch more of them. But still, at the end of the day, it's gonna be like, what's it about? Who's in it? And that will determine whether I ultimately watch it. So I'm not like one of these like completists that I feel like I got to watch every single, you know, Best Picture winner, every single nominated movie. If I was doing something specific, you know, like some sort of specific list, like for a year, like I would watch them just so you would be able to properly compare all the films. But that's really the only reason I would like go like all gun ho on like a particular category or year or something.
Yeah.
Are you kind of the same?
I'm pretty much the same. I mean, it has to be something that I'm interested in. It has to have a cast that I also am interested in. with this particular year, 2005, I'm looking at the list, and the only one I saw was Brokeback Mountain. And it's not to say that the others weren't, I'm sure, amazing films, but if it doesn't appeal to me, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
So I just want people to realize that this was such a competitive year for movies, and just because we don't have some of the greats on our list doesn't mean they weren't good. It's just that it was very hard to pick, and at the end of the day, I really just picked the ones that in my heart I just love, and
Yeah.
they may not be critically acclaimed, but I love them.
Yeah, and we're talking about our favorite movies. These are the ones we want to watch a lot,
Yeah.
and not necessarily like they're going to win awards or something. Now, some of them are, I think, I believe a few of them were nominated for things. At least, let me see. One in particular was definitely nominated for multiple Oscars. But yeah, this is favorite, not best.
Yep.
So let's start with your honorable mentions.
Okay. First one is Walk the Line. Now, I'm a K-pop girly. I don't got Johnny Cash on my daily playlist, but I really love this movie and I watch it a lot. It's one I go back to, or if I see it on TV, I'm definitely going to sit there and watch it. And it's not so much of, oh, I'm really interested in Johnny Cash's life story. To me, this was about Joaquin and Reese giving the performances of their career. And, there's a couple things. The reason it's an honorable mention and on my list is that for me, this movie's kind of split in two. I feel like the first half is kind of like a Cliff Notes version of his early years. Mm-hmm. And the movie doesn't really pick up until we meet June and their relationship starts to develop. So it's almost like the movie's less of a biopic on Johnny and more of a retelling of their love story and how his, addiction and his struggles really affected that relationship. So, to me, that they're both integral parts of this movie. It's not just Joaquin and his journey, but it's Reese and as June, hers is just as important. The fact that they both did their own singing is outstanding, and they did such a great job there. And then selfishly, I just want to give a small shout out to Tyler Hilton as Elvis because I love him, and it was so fun to see him in such a huge movie like this. So yeah, it's just a great movie. And Reese won the Oscar for Best Actress, well deserved. But with Joaquin, I think it should have been him. But again, the competition was really, really tough that year.
I am so due for a rewatch of this movie because I loved it the first time I saw it. It's been so long. But what's funny is even though it's been a really long time, certain bits of it are still like really ingrained in my memory. So I feel like that's a testament to the quality of the film.
Yeah.
If I think I've only seen it one time, and yet it really like made an impression. So I think Joaquin Phoenix is phenomenal. I mean, he completely embodied Johnny Cash. He sounded just like him. Yeah. He looked like him. He was incredible. Reese Witherspoon was wonderful too. I think Joaquin Phoenix is better than her. And if I'm like judging, like who gives the best performance, I think it's Joaquin. So, I remember the parts when it shows his childhood and what happened to his brother. Oh, that's like gut wrenching.
Yeah.
And then is it the final scene of the movie when she agrees to marry him and he lifts her up? Is that like the movie? Yeah, that really stuck with me. Like the way that's filmed, like from far away and him lifting her in the air. Such a great movie. I'm gonna rewatch it this year because I own it, and yet it's been so long since I've seen it. Is that the year that did Philip Seymour Hoffman win for playing Truman Capote?
Yes,
is that the year?
Yes.
Okay.
So again, tough competition.
I mean, like because I felt like I was watching Truman Capote. See, the thing is, I don't think that movie is very good, Capote. I thought it was kind of boring, actually, but his performance is like, amazing.
Yeah.
So I can understand why he won, but I almost wish they could have a tie, But Walk the Line, great film. I'm glad you have it on your honorable mentions. What's another one?
So I've got Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but I'm gonna wait to talk about
Yes.
it because you're gonna bring that up later.
Yes.
So we'll just hold off on that.
Okay.
And then my third is Match Point. Have you seen this movie?
No, I've always wanted to.
So this is a Woody Allen film, but it is the most un-Woody Allen films of Woody Allen films. This is a dark psychological drama. It is not one of his stereotypical comedies set in New York. I mean, he took this to London, and it is just it's. Look, I'm not a Woody Allen fan in general. I'm just not. But I watched this movie because of the cast. Like, I am a huge Jonathan Rhys-Meyers fan. I will watch anything he does. So that was the reason I decided to give it a go. And it really stuck with me. It's basically about an affair that and how he is trying to decide whether it's worth giving up this wonderful life that he's built to be with Scarlett Johansson. And it's a subject matter I'm not a fan of, but the performances in this are so good. And it takes this really dark turn at the end that you don't see coming. And it's that dark turn that, like, you just can't stop thinking about after the movie ends. And you're just like, oh my gosh. The overall theme of this movie is this idea that sometimes the real punishment in life is the guilt that we can't overcome. And it's something really interesting to think about. But the unique thing about this movie that really stood out for me, because I'm like a movie score buff, like I watch movies sometimes just for the score. This movie doesn't have a score. So it uses opera songs throughout the movie in unique ways, but there's no actual like instrumental score. And I that was like, I noticed that, like, I picked up on it right away. I'm like, there's no music. Where's the music? And the way that some of the camera angles are, it really just feels like you're stepping into these people's lives in real time at like certain pivotal moments. So it was like a really unique way it was filmed. So I liked that about it. But yeah, it's, so you got dark subject matter, but great performances. And yeah, I like it. First Woody Allen film I like.
Woody Allen films are with me are hit or miss. Some I really like, and some I'm like, no, I don't like that. All the ones I know though are comedies, so it's interesting that he made something so different. I think, if I remember correctly, he tends to do that with music, like incorporate certain kinds of like classical pieces very specifically into the films. So I remember he does that in the movie Scoop, also with Scarlett Johansson. Great movie. He's constantly using music from Swan Lake in that movie.
All right, so this is the same idea then, and I think those two came out around the same time. So
yeah, Scoop is 2006. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he was basically just trying something and seeing if it worked.
Yeah. And so I will check that out sometime if I catch it on streaming, because sounds good. Yeah. So my first honorable mention is Bewitched. This is underrated Nora Ephron movie. I'm very much alone in my love for this movie. It is not it's not liked by most people.
I haven't seen it.
I really don't understand though why it's so disliked. Like, I can understand, oh, you don't really like it, but it's like really disliked. So much so that the rating on IMDb is a 4.9,
Ooh.
which I find ridiculous. Like I've seen like awful movies that have similar or higher ratings than this. And I'm just like, what is the deal? I don't get it. I think the movie's adorable. It's super cute. It has that Nora Ephron feel, very witty. I saw it in the theater, bought it right away. I think it's really cute, really funny. And I just laughed out loud a lot. Now the thing is, I don't know if people were expecting it to be just like a straight remake sort of thing, like of the show, but it's almost like impossible to, you know, do that because the original series is so great and so beloved. So I think what they did was smart because in the movie, it's like they're remaking the show. So they're getting actors to like remake
Oh.
Bewitched. But the thing is, Nicole Kidman actually is a witch. That's the hook.
Okay.
So she's adorable in it. Very cute and funny. Will Ferrell's funny. Now I say their chemistry isn't like the best in the world, but they're still cute together. And
Mhm.
it has like a stacked cast, and they're all really good. I mean, it also has Michael Caine, who was really funny, Shirley MacLaine, Kristen Chenoweth, Heather Burns, Jason
Wow.
Schwartzman, David Allen Greer, Stephen Colbert. Steve Carell is funny, and there's like this fantasy scene where all of a sudden he appears as Uncle Arthur, and um, it's cute. I love the set design. You know, Nora Ephron films always have beautiful set designs, and her house is just like I want to live there. It's so feminine and pretty, and um, I just really love the movie. It has lots of funny one-liners, like because she's a witch, she, she doesn't like, they don't like dealing like money. She wants something, she snaps her finger, sort of thing. And when Will Ferrell first meets her, she's just like really taken with him, and like she's like, "Oh, I like him," and he's saying, "Do you want to be an actress?" And he's like trying to show off, so he pays for her coffee or something, and she's like, "I need to remember to get some money." And Heather Burns is so funny because Will Ferrell plays kind of a jerk, and they're like commiserating and stuff, and Heather Burns is like, "I have a taser. I think we should taser him and throw him into the Shark Tank at SeaWorld." It's just cute. I recommend it. If you like cute rom-coms. Like I said, it's unfairly maligned, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So,
Which tends to happen sometimes when you're doing a variation of something that is so classic and beloved. So there's always going to be people you're never going to be able to make happy.
yeah. And I feel like people are harder on romantic comedies than other movies.
Absolutely.
So that's probably part of it. So my next one is Flight Plan. That is a great thriller with Jodie Foster. Have you seen this?
No, I don't think so. Not that I can remember.
So she is she's a widow, and her husband recently died, and she has a young daughter, and she's flying home like for the funeral because I forget where they were living, another country. And they're on the plane. She helped design the airplane. So it's like this humongous, like 2-story airplane that she helped design. And she, boards the plane before everyone else because she has a little child. And she falls asleep, and then she wakes up, and she can't find her daughter. And she's like, "Can someone help me find my daughter?" And then she starts going crazy because no one can find her. And then all of a sudden people are like, "I didn't even see her. I don't think your daughter was ever here." And they think she's crazy. You're like, "You're making this up."
Oh.
You're just, are you on like drugs for anxiety and stuff like that? And Sean Bean plays the pilot, and then Peter Sarsgaard is the air marshal, and he's the one that has to deal with her. And there's something about him. He's so good at playing these like shady characters.
Oh yeah.
Really well. And it's funny. It's like, even though as the audience, you see her with her daughter, but you're going, something's weird here. It's like, was it from her perspective and her daughter wasn't really there, or, what's going on? And Jodie Foster is such a good actress. So it's really good. And it's short. It's only like an hour and a half. So
nice.
It flies by. It's like a great, tense, edge of your seat thriller. Great ending, very satisfying. So okay. I recommend that one.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And then another one I have is The Family Stone. That's like a it's a Christmas movie to a degree. I have an interesting relationship with this movie because I didn't like it very much at first. And a lot of people don't like it. And I understand why, because this family isn't very nice a lot of the time. And Sarah Jessica Parker's character isn't the best. And so their likability is like hit or miss. But at the end of the day, the cast ultimately makes it work for me. And the discomfort you feel is very realistic. But at the end, the emotion you feel really gets to me. And when she gives have you seen this?
No, have not.
Okay. She gives a photograph of Diane Keaton's character to the family when she's young and pregnant, and everyone's very moved by it. Because Diane Keaton's character, she has cancer that had returned, so they know she's not going to be around much longer. So it's like it even has more meaning. And
nowadays,
that she's passed, has an even deeper meaning. And so I haven't watched it this year because I'm like, oh, this is going to be tough to watch. So I think I'll skip it this year. But it's sometimes tough to watch. It's uncomfortable at moments, but it's worth checking out just for the cast. It has Sarah Jessica Parker, Diane Keaton, Dermot Mulroney, Craig T. Nelson, Rachel McAdams, Luke Wilson. Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting someone. Claire Danes. Great. But overall, I think it's a really solid film. And then my last honorable mention is The Chronicles of Narnia, which is on your list. So you can go ahead and talk about it.
All right. Yeah. I have it at number 5 on my list.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was obsessed with this when this came out. It was, I didn't know much about these series of books. I had never read them. This was my first introduction into the world of Narnia. And oh my gosh, this movie was done on such a grand scale. Like, to me, it is like the quintessential fantasy movie, like in addition to like Lord of the Rings, but like this is like the more like kid-friendly version. But I was just like, I remember sitting in the theater and just like watching it with like big eyes and just being like, oh my gosh, this world is stunning. It's beautiful. The music in that by, I believe it's Harry Gregson Williams. Oh my gosh. I love the soundtrack so much. I still listen to it to this day. But they did a really good job casting this film. I know some people were like kind of iffy about Tilda Swinton. I loved her in this.
She's great.
I thought she was perfect in this. But I just generally love her in general. She can do no wrong in my eyes. But the kids, I mean, you're talking about unknown names coming in to tackle something this huge and basically carrying this movie on their shoulders. And I really thought they did a good job. It's kind of a shame that they really never got to finish things. I mean, I feel like, they busted out 3 and it was like, okay, that's enough. It's like the others never really had the the popularity of the first one. So it's kind of a shame how it kind of fell off the face of the earth a little bit. But the kids, I just think they were great. And for me personally, the highlight of this movie is Mr. Tumnus.
Yes.
James McAvoy this was my first introduction to James McAvoy. He was so good. Just he's like one of those comfort characters.
Yeah.
And yeah, I adore this movie so much.
I almost put it in my top 5, but I thought you would, so I'm like, okay, I'll switch out another movie because I love the Chronicles of Narnia. I'd heard of it, growing up, but I never actually read the book. So I had no idea what to expect. And I was just blown away. It's so beautifully made. I love the kids. Not only are they great actors, but they look alike. They look like they could be siblings.
They do.
And they are fantastic. Yeah, I love James McAvoy. Yeah, this was the first thing I ever saw him in. And this is also the first thing I ever saw Tilda Swinton in. So they were both so perfect for me. I wrote down that I love the score. I listen to the score all the time. The score really helps capture the tone of the film perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
It really sets the stage, especially at the beginning when they're on the train.
Oh my gosh, that's the scene. That scene lives rent free in my head. The train and the music playing as
with
the
oh
my gosh,
I'm like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
And then the scene, if we're going like score and scene, when Lucy's first in Narnia and she sees Mr. Tumnus and that score comes in, it's so gentle and delicate. What instrument is playing? Is it a violin? Something like that.
I'll have to go back and check.
And there's just this quiet beauty about the whole thing, and it has that magical quality. And that's one of my favorite moments of the entire film is their first meeting and how sweet and innocent she is and how astonished he is. And he's like, I still say, Spa-oom, is that Narnia? And then, or she's like, actually, I'm tallest in my class. And I'm like, oh, is that little girl cute? Such a talent. All the kids are great, though. And the voice work of all the animals is fantastic.
Yeah.
And like Liam Neeson, I mean, like, is he the perfect voice for Aslan? I mean, I can't think of anyone else who could have done a better job than him.
The animals also looked great. I mean, for the time,
yeah.
like the effects in this movie were really well done.
Yeah, especially for 2005, 20 years ago. I mean, sometimes I'm thinking these effects from 20 years ago look better than some things that are put out now, which is amazing to me. And what's interesting to me is, so I haven't seen the movie in a long time. I need to watch it. I think I'm going to watch all 3, I think, in the new year. But I did watch a reaction video to it. And they showed a good chunk of the movie, so it helped refresh it in my mind. And what's interesting to me is, so this movie, obviously, if you're like a spiritual, religious person, you will see all the comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not, you just look at it as just like a fantasy. So it's like, it's there, and it's there for people to like, oh, that's nice, if you're religious. But if you're not, it's not like so in your face that it will like turn you off or something.
Right.
If you're not. So it's like, it's perfectly balanced in there that you could see it if you reckon, if you're like a Christian, or I'm Catholic. So I'm like, I recognize all of the allegory and comparisons. But if you're not like a religious person, and those people who are watching it, they weren't really saying anything like that. So obviously maybe they aren't or something. And they're just like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, look at that. That's the magic of Narnia. So it's like, I just think that was really well done, because anything like that, you run the risk of like alienating, part of the audience. And
Right.
I don't think they did that. I think they did it so well. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, such a great movie. And I like this one the best of the three, but I do enjoy the other ones too.
I have a soft spot for Prince Caspian, but I do, yeah, I think I like Lion Witch in the Wardrobe better.
Yeah, Prince Caspian's great. Well, Ben Barr. He's cute. So we will go into my number 5. It is Just Like Heaven. So this is just a lovely, funny, fantastical rom-com with Reese Witherspoon and Mark Ruffalo. It's in their rom-com era where they both made quite a few of those. Do you know this movie?
I have seen bits and pieces of it, but unfortunately not the whole thing.
Okay, that's fine. So what the deal with this movie is, Reese Witherspoon is a doctor, and Mark Ruffalo he's like a landscape architect, and he's a widower. And she gets in a car accident, and then you see him moving into her apartment. So you're like, oh no, did she die? And what it is she's in a coma, but her spirit all of a sudden shows up in the apartment. And he thinks she's a ghost, because it's like, why are you here? And she doesn't have like her full memory. She doesn't understand what's going on. So he has to help her slowly like figure out not only, who she is, but it's like, am I dead or am I, what's going on? So it's very sweet. Has this whole idea about like destiny, like they were destined to meet each other sort of thing. And it sort of blends like high comedy with like deeper emotional things really, really well. And the two of them are great together, great chemistry. He's very funny. She's funny too. And yeah, I just love this movie. There's a really sweet moment where they visit her sister, and she's like, my sister will know what's going on. And she has 2 daughters. And all of a sudden she could see one of them's like looking right at her and smiling. She's like, can you see me? But she doesn't say anything. She's just smiling and looking at her. So that's just a nice little moment, because I feel like they always say kids are more open and adept at that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. And then Donald Logue is in the movie playing Mark Ruffalo's friend and therapist. And there's a part where they have to sneak around the hospital, and it's really, really funny. And then the end is just very, very unabashedly romantic. And it's one, yeah. Very rarely do I see it streaming, but if you can catch it streaming, I recommend watching the whole thing.
It's an interesting trope for a rom-com. Normally they don't go the kind of supernatural spiritual route there. So that's really interesting plot.
Yeah. It is, because it's interesting that even though her character is alive, that she's like has trouble with remembering who she is, that she has to slowly figure it out.
It's interesting that she is still alive, so it's just her spirit that someone else could see her spirit. Like, I can understand if you're going with the ghost plot line.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, being able to see a ghost, but being able to see someone's spirit while they're in a coma, that's crazy.
And he's the only one who can see her. No one else can see her. So it's this whole thing about like fate and destiny, and really, really lovely. So what's your number 4?
Rent.
Okay.
The movie adaptation of Jonathan Larson's hit Broadway musical. Mm-hmm. This movie got so much hate.
It did? Oh.
Well, I think what it boils down to is when you put a director like Chris Columbus on this, hot off the presses of the first two Harry Potter movies, and you're taking these songs and putting them in these fantastical type backgrounds, and people kind of thought that it took away the grit of the actual story and the stage show, which I understand. But at the end of the day, this is a big screen movie musical. So we're not, we weren't just going to do what you see on stage, which is basically they have like a Hamilton type setup where it's just one set.
Oh,
And, there's no grand sets and costumes and everything. It's just very just real and simple. So but I like seeing these songs played out on the streets of New York and things like that. It just, to me, it just gave it more color. It gave it more life. So I like that aspect of it. Other people complained about the fact that the actors were too old for their characters. And yes, that is true. But we're talking about the fact that we were bringing back 6 original cast members to reprise their roles in the movie. I much rather like that as opposed to what happens with a lot of movie musicals, where we're going to bring in some big name actors that can't carry a tune and try to get the box office numbers high. It's like, no, this was a breath of fresh air to have the true talent playing these characters that they originated. That was really important for me. This is a show that I've loved for such a long time. I've seen it on stage quite a few times. I've seen some of the original cast in it on stage, and it's such an important subject matter that had not been done on stage before. I mean, the AIDS epidemic was so impactful on the Broadway community, and it was so risky to put it on stage for the general public to see. It's like, are they going to want to come see something like this? Yeah. And it turns out they did. I mean, the show was a huge success. And it's still being done, in some areas. So it was a labor of love for Jonathan Larson. It's so tragic that he never got to see the full thing before he passed. And but his impact and influence is still seen today. I mean, this was one of the first musicals that combined the classic Broadway show with like contemporary pop music. And if you look at what's on Broadway now, that's mostly what it is. And it's all, because of Jonathan Larson. So it's, I think it's a really important show. I really like the movie. Maybe I'm able to overlook a lot of the things, but like, I thought it was really cool to like, watch them go to Santa Fe when they're singing the song about Santa Fe. You know what I mean? Like, and not just on a stage. I love watching musicals come to life in a big cinematic world. Some people don't, but I love it.
Yeah. So I've only seen this once, so my memory's a little hazy, and I've never seen that on stage. So this was the only time I've seen it. But I do remember being like really blown away by the actors. Now, how much does their age matter? I mean, I feel like it's not that important. I don't know.
I mean, it didn't bother me that much. I guess they're supposed to be, early 20s, and I guess these actors were 30 plus at the time they made the movie. But okay. I don't know. I didn't look. I most things I watch have grown adults playing teenagers, so it's like I'm used to it at this point.
I think it's fine, and like you said, it's special to have the original cast from Broadway in the film. I remember being really blown away by Jesse L. Martin. He's so good. I mean, I feel like a lot of people just think of him from Law and Order, but he's a great singer and a great actor, and he was really good in this. And who's the other one that stood out? Rosario Dawson was good, and
she was the newbie.
she was the newbie.
And
then
yeah, she really held her own.
What is his name? He's got blonde hair and glasses.
Anthony Rapp.
Yeah, he stood out for sure. So I can't say I remember it that well, but I thought it was well done. And, of course, the famous song from the show is very, very memorable. I mean, even if I've only seen it, I've heard that song so many times, and people, do homages to it all the time. They did it on The Office, and it's great. It's great. I feel like people need to remember that the stage and a film are completely different. Take that into account and be a little bit more open-minded with things.
And they did film the stage show. So for anyone who didn't like the movie, you have a nice recorded copy of the stage show you can watch, which is, just as good.
And you brought up a good point, which I didn't even think about how this like combines the classic with the contemporary. And that's so influential, because you're right. I mean, like 90% of what they do now is that. So, and it all stemmed from this. So very influential. People, give it a chance. So my number 4 is Elizabethtown. This is a Cameron Crowe film. Another film that I am alone in how much I love it.
Yeah, you are. You are in this.
I am so used to that. Cameron Crowe has a very kind of certain style, though, to his filmmaking that isn't going to be for everyone. So I rewatched Jerry Maguire the other day, and I'm like, because I know people love Jerry Maguire. And I'm like, how much different style of storytelling is it? Pretty similar. The way the editing is, the type of things he does, the journey of, the character and stuff, and the use of music was very similar. So, now I like Elizabethtown better. If I can say Jerry Maguire is probably a better made movie, but I enjoy Elizabethtown more. There's just something about it that I've always loved. It's quirky, romantic. I love, this was my In Love with Orlando Bloom years. So, so chances are I was probably going to like it. But then I've always been a big fan of Kirsten Dunst as well. And now in this movie, she's called one of those, they call it Manic Pixie Dream Girl, as a term coined, not for her character, but she's called that. I believe the first usage of that was to describe Natalie Portman in Garden State.
Yes.
But after that, Kirsten Dunst's character was called like that, which I can understand to a degree. But at the same time, I feel like it kind of gives the character a little bit of it's a little bit of a disservice, because she's just, she's very positive, optimistic, very, very sweet, loves to talk. But she has moments of sadness and vulnerability, and that I think make her relatable. There's a line she has that really I'm like, oh, I feel that line. She says, I'm impossible to forget, but I'm hard to remember. And people who, people don't forget you, but they can't always remember you. They overlook you, sort of thing. And, I relate to that a lot. I felt like that in my life. So I do think maybe she's a little bit too upbeat, but it's not her story. It's his story. So it's following him, and it's about his journey of grieving his father. And, his character isn't perfect, and but that's kind of what I like. That it makes it too obvious when like the people are like, I feel like nowadays it's like characters can't have any flaws whatsoever. And he's very like, he's dwelling on his failure and almost a little bit more than his grieving his father. It's almost like he's more worried about the fact that he had this major fiasco in his job. And I feel like her character helps that. But I don't know. I do think that she gives him a map at the end of the movie, and I'm like, this is great. This is not realistic at all. I mean, I'm like, I don't feel like she could have made this in the amount of time she needed to give it to him. And it does feel maybe slightly out of place with the rest of the film. But I like it because I feel like it was like sort of Cameron Crowe's tribute to Americana and all these different things. And so for that reason, I still like it. And I love the ending of the film. I think it's really sweet and always makes me cry. The voiceover is talking about all these different like things that are like kind of miraculous, like how salmon will swim against the current to mate, and they hurt themselves, they bloody themselves just to do that. And how a single grain or single strand of a plant can grow through concrete. It's this miraculous thing. And basically it's like, this is what you do. This is what you do for love and life. You do what's difficult, because that's what matters in life. And so I know it's not for everyone, but I've always loved it. Yeah. The score is really pretty too. It's like this heavy on the mandolin, which I love the mandolin.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
I believe it's his. I think it's Cameron Crowe's wife did the music. I think.
Okay.
So that's kind of nice too.
Yeah.
So, not a fan of this movie.
I was not a fan of this. Now I haven't seen it since I originally watched it, probably 20 years ago. So that may change. I wasn't able to find it to stream to prepare for this. But yeah, first time I watched it, it wasn't for me. But I'm not a Cameron Crowe fan. I didn't like Jerry Maguire. I'm one of the few who didn't like that movie. It's just not a style that suits me. I think probably superficially that I prefer Orlando Bloom in period films. And the modern world, it just wasn't doing it for me. I just wasn't I don't know. Wasn't into it. And I also just in general not a huge fan of Kirsten Dunst either. So to me it just wasn't all the things combined. It just wasn't for me. Not to say that it that I would still feel that way now. I may watch it now and love it, because
that's true. Sometimes
we change our likes and dislikes change over time. And it may resonate with me now and just 20 years ago. So I'll have to try to find it and watch it again.
It doesn't stream very often. That's the problem, when it's like you want to watch something and you look for it and you're like, oh, it isn't anywhere. And I own it, so because I loved it, so I bought it, and it's one of those. Yeah. Sometimes
you just wish there's like just a database where we can just have access to everything, or bring back Blockbuster.
Yeah. I know you can rent things, but it's like renting digitally. It just feels weird.
It does.
I don't know what it is, but
I'd rather go down to the video store and pick up a DVD.
But I remember I went with a couple friends to go see this, and when we got to the theater, it was sold out. And me and my other friend were like, I want to see Orlando Bloom. I don't want to see any other movies. So I believe we went to another theater and then saw it there. because we really wanted to see it. Now, I do agree with you that, like, if I'm picking, I'll pick like him in something period or something.
Doesn't he have an American accent in this too?
He does. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think I remember hating that.
It's decent. It's not the greatest, but I think he does it pretty good. Of course, I prefer the British accent. Come on. Him in Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, like, how many people have looked that good in a movie? Very few.
True.
But I do like him in this movie. I've always liked Kirsten Dunst. I like her in quite a few films. So, I find her charming, and she's got a slight Southern accent in this movie, which is kind of
That's
cute,
right.
which I find cute. So what's your number 3?
Oh, this pains me to say, but my number 3 is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. It just feels wrong to put it at 3, but like I said, my top 3 were tied. So, I have a very special relationship with Goblet of Fire. This was pretty much the height of the Harry Potter fandom for my life. I was doing so many different things. I was going to Harry Potter conventions, went to the Goblet of Fire premiere in New York and stood outside for like 12 hours just to get a glimpse of the cast. I was going to like live Muggle cast recordings. I mean, it was just one thing after another.
Muggle cast. That's a blast from the past. Oh my
gosh. So, and then my friends and I decided we were going to make a spoof film because we were young. We liked to make movies. We could always find cameras in our hands, always trying to film something. And we decided we wanted to make a musical version of Goblet of Fire. And it was a lot of fun. It was like a big production, and we had it on YouTube, and then it got taken down for copyright violation. So you can't watch it, but
bummer.
Yeah, this movie, like I said, holds a special place in my heart. And it's not my favorite Harry Potter movie. That award goes to Prisoner of Azkaban. But this was the first one that really felt like an epic Harry Potter movie. Like, you look at the first 2, Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets, and they're really just establishing this world, giving the kids a chance to really get into the groove of things and introducing us to all these characters. It was still had a juvenile feel to it. Then you get Prisoner of Azkaban, which to me is a masterpiece, but Alfonso Cuarón really did just make it. To me, it's almost like a standalone film. It doesn't have the same style as any of the others. It's just totally unique. But Goblet of Fire was really like the first true epic Harry Potter film that really set up the rest of the series, I feel like. And a lot of people don't like this movie because of all the things that they cut. But look, this is a monster book. It's over 700 pages. You can't put everything in, and at the end of the day, I think the things they cut, to me, at least to me, they weren't that important. Like, I know everyone was so mad about the spew being taken out. I didn't care about the spew part. Like, no, like at the end of the day, like you got to focus on this journey leading up to Voldemort's reveal and Voldemort coming back. Like that's really where the story lies in this book. And the Triwizard Tournament. There was just too much you had to fit into this movie. But at the end, and they also really needed to establish the fact that the kids are growing up and they're teenagers now, and there's a lot changing. And I love the Yule Ball scene.
Yeah.
But Harry and Ron just being complete fools. And Hermione having her moment. Yeah, I think Mike Newell did a good job with this movie. It's I would say it's probably my second favorite, and it was really fun to see other schools It's like you realize, okay, it's not just Hogwarts. So first we see the Quidditch World Cup. So we're introduced to the rest of the wizarding world and how they all come together for this big Quidditch tournament. And then we're introduced to other wizarding schools. So that was really fun. And, you know, this movie also gave us one of the most heartbreaking parts of the series, and that's Cedric's death.
Yeah.
That still is a scene that is just really hard to watch when his father realizes that he's passed.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Also, this is our first introduction to Robert Pattinson. Which is always fun. I will never, or I hope I never forget the day when they announced him being cast as Edward. And I just remember saying, Cedric Diggory is Edward? Like, yeah, it was, when I think about this movie, I just have nothing but fond memories of just a great time in my life, just nonstop fun. And so that's what this movie is for me. And honestly, like, I really do think Voldemort is one of the most terrifying villains in the history of cinema. And Ralph Fiennes is so good. Yeah. So good in this role.
Yeah, I love Goblet of Fire. I have it at 2. So we're pretty close.
Yeah.
In my Harry Potter ranking, I have it. It's my 3rd favorite.
So, what are your first 2?
Prisoner of Azkaban and Order of the Phoenix.
Okay.
Are above it, but they're also close. I feel like it's funny to me that I always thought it was very universally loved. At least I thought it was, and only recently did I discover that a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why? This movie's good. It's epic and it nails everything. I mean, I feel like it's one of the best adaptations because it cuts the things that don't matter that much and focuses on the meat of the story, which is the tournament and the Return of Voldemort. That's the important part. I don't care that they cut the spew thing. When I read it, I wasn't caring about it. Like Quidditch isn't like my favorite thing. So I remember when I was reading the book and how much time she spent on the what's it called? The Quidditch World Cup.
Yeah.
And I found it so self-indulgent and boring that when I saw the movie and I saw how much was cut, I'm like, thank you. I'm like, it's not needed at all. They showed enough. They showed the important part, which was a little bit of the game and them all playing and having fun, and then the Death Eaters coming. So that's what mattered. I don't need to see Victor Crumb playing for 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
Love the Yule Ball. It's so pretty. Mm-hmm. And it's so fun. I know people don't like that they changed the color of Hermione's dress.
Oh, right.
But
it didn't bother me.
Doesn't bother me at all. And it wouldn't have stood out as much with the set. It would have like blended into it.
You're right. That icy blue set. Yeah.
The pink stands out against the like icy blue set, just like the Durmstrang red things really are very striking.
Yeah.
And so they made the right call, and it looks beautiful on her. It's very pretty dress. Yeah, she has a little Cinderella moment, and I remember Daniel Radcliffe talking about, they're like, well, she was always beautiful, so it wasn't like that much of a moment. And it's true, Emma Watson's probably a little bit prettier than Hermione's described in the books, but it's still a sweet moment because, she was a little bit of a bookworm, and this, older boy likes her, and it's still nice. And
it is.
I love they nail the teenage angst really well. Especially during the ball when her and Ron are like bickering, and she's like, just, the solution, just perk up the courage to ask me next time. Yep. It's like, oh, come on, that's not the point. I'm like, Ron, come on. But it's dark, but it's also sweet and funny. It has all the tones, and it's so good. And Cedric's death, yeah, is still one of the most devastating moments of the entire series.
Mm-hmm.
First, him dying there and lying there, and it's awful. But then the sound of his father wailing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so powerful. And I've seen it so many times, and I'm still crying watching. And I think the moment I don't know if I'm saying this right. Priori Incantatum.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, where they don't explain it really in the movie, but that the last people that Voldemort killed with his wand show up. Basically, their spirits show up because him and Harry's wands connect.
Yeah.
So that's so well done. It's like what I pictured when I read it, and it's very moving hearing his parents, speak to him and help him. And yeah, it's so good. And then I think that Ralph Fiennes is, so scary, so powerful, especially in this film, because he has this like elegance to him, but he's just like, he is like a snake, and he like slithers around.
Yeah.
And,
you're right about the elegance, though. That's a good point.
Yeah. But then like he's calm, but then he like jolts like a snake.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's so good in that scene. And then I love the score.
It's a really good one. I mean, they're all good, but this one in particular, yeah.
Yeah, Patrick Doyle did. This is the only score he did. It's it's tough to pick up where John Williams left off because it's John Williams, but he did some of the prettiest music of the series, I think. Now we are very similar in that I love movie scores and will listen to them so much so that I will remember the names of the cues.
Mm-hmm.
So without even having to look, I wrote down my favorite ones: Harry and Winter, Neville's Waltz, Potter Waltz, and Hogwarts March. I love all those.
I love Harry and Winter.
Harry and Winter's my favorite. Yeah, so beautiful. Yeah, this movie's so good, and it's funny to me that it's divisive because I think it's great, and I very, very well cast. I know people don't like the moment with Dumbledore because it's not what it says in the
Dumbledore. Dumbledore.
I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't care. I don't care at all. I'm like, because I think Michael Gambon is very good Dumbledore. I think he's great in the part. And
but also, I mean, Michael Gambon in the movie version of Dumbledore, I feel like he does play it a little more emotionally, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I think for how the story is, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this was the first movie where we're really seeing how dark this story is going to get, and it's really starting to take that turn. It's like now we're starting to see death. Now we're starting to see, just how truly evil Voldemort is, and so, to me, it's not surprising that we would see a more heightened, emotional Dumbledore.
Yeah, and I feel like the first two, like you said, they established the world and very whimsical and still very innocent. And Prisoner of Azkaban, the cast, like I feel like, especially the kids, really came into their own.
Yeah.
I feel like Goblet of Fire really solidified the chemistry between not just the kids, but like all the cast.
Yeah. All
together. I feel like that really set it, and it continued for the rest of the series. So yeah, it's great. I love the Harry Potter. I love all the Harry Potter films, but yeah, this one is one of the best ones. So my number 3 is The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. So this quickly became very much a comfort movie for me. Even though I was older at the time than the characters. I wasn't that much older. I was a young adult. I don't remember how old I was, but early 20s, I think.
Subtract 20 from your age now.
I can't do math. 20, 23? 23. Yeah. Okay. I still found it engaging and relatable, and there's not a bad story in the bunch. They're all good. I like that, especially for a movie about teenagers, that there's nothing shallow or vapid about the stories with these girls. They're all emotional, very deep, profound stories, and great performances. All of the girls are fantastic. I remember I was familiar with Alexis Bledel because I loved Gilmore Girls, and I knew Amber Tamblyn because I used to watch that show Joan of Arcadia. But the other two, right. I didn't know them. So that was my introduction to America Ferrera and Blake Lively. I don't think Blake Lively had done anything yet.
No, I think this was one of her first things.
So, but yeah, great acting. Even though like the stories can be sad, it doesn't feel like depressing. It still has this like lighter quality, and it still feels hopeful, and the friendship's so sweet. And of course you have to go with it that these pants, these pair of blue jeans somehow all magically fit them when they're all different sizes and heights and all this sort of thing. But that's just the magic of the film, and they have great chemistry together, but then they're all great on their own. All the supporting people are wonderful. In particular, I love Michael Rady, who plays Kostas.
Yeah, he's great.
He's great, and he's been an actor who's been in so many things I love. So I just like him. He's in a lot of Hallmark movies, and he was in The Mentalist and Timeless. So he's become a favorite of mine. He's great in this movie. It's funny, because this is my introduction to him. It's like, first I thought he actually had the accent. But so what are your thoughts on this movie? Do you have like a favorite storyline?
Definitely Alexis in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's not to love about a romantic trip abroad, but I think so. I was in the kind of the same situation as you. I mean, I was in college when this movie came out, so it was like a little bit outside of my what wasn't really the demographic for this movie. But I think what resonated so much with it with me was that it was almost like, so the movie Now and Then. It was like the Now and Then for the next generation.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it really captured like the teenage years quite authentically.
Mm-hmm.
Because like sometimes with teen movies, I feel like this is my biggest issue with Gilmore Girls, is it's almost too smart to be realistic. Like the dialogue's too smart, and I tell myself, who talks like that? But with this movie, I thought, okay, this is relatable dialogue. This is how teenage girls talk. Like it was really relatable. I love the chemistry of all the girls. I just thought they just all meshed well. So even though they all had their own unique personality and unique life situation and everything, it's like they could all come together, and it's just beautiful chemistry. Yeah, it's a great coming of age film that I just feel like it's just really refreshingly relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Just like how I felt when Now and Then came out when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's a great comparison for sure. Do you like the sequel?
I did like the sequel. It didn't hit as hard. Like it didn't. I get resonate with me as much as the first one, but I did enjoy it.
I enjoyed. I feel like the sequel, the storylines are a little bit lighter, overall, because I'm remembering, like, America Ferrera is just sweet, but it's just that's just sort of like her funny confidence. I mean, there's nothing too deep compared to the thing with her father. That was a little heavier, and
Yeah.
even though I feel like Blake Lively's is almost like a continuation of what she dealt with in the first one, just in a different way, because it's still about the deep grief of losing her mother, and especially losing her mother the way she did. Yeah, I like the first one better, but they're both great films, and all the girls are great. That is true. I mean, even though I love the Gilmore Girls, it is true that it's a heightened reality. That is one criticism I have with not with the main characters. Like, I'm fine with them the way they talk, but all of a sudden, Luke's daughter was like a carbon copy of Rory.
Oh, okay.
And that bugged me. I'm like, not every kid is like this.
Yeah.
And, so I didn't care for that. I didn't care for the fact that they had that story in general. And then I'm like, not every kid is this, amazingly fast talking, clever, witty thing,
Right.
sort of. But yeah, as far as the Sisterhood of Traveling Pants, so great. I haven't read the books, but great films. I've watched them a lot. Like I said, they're like comfort films for me. So what's your number two? I think your number two is my number one.
My number two, yeah, I believe so, is Pride and Prejudice.
Yes. Yeah.
Which, again, it kills me to put it at number
know.
two. Like, it's definitely number one worthy. But I will say I kind of like the BBC miniseries better.
Okay.
Which nobody else would say. But my sole reasoning for it is that I just like to see the story fully fleshed out.
Sure.
In a miniseries. I think the Jane Austen books really work well as miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
And when they turn it into a 2-hour movie, it's like you do lose a lot. And my favorite, the thing I love so much about Lizzie and Darcy is just that real slow burn. And it gets a little rushed in the movie, So the BBC miniseries with Colin Firth is just like, oh, I love it so much.
Yeah.
But look, this movie is everything. This is one of the most stunningly beautiful movies I've ever seen. This is one of the best film scores of all time. Yes. Did I spend hours and hours climbing mountains in the middle of England trying to find the Keira Knightley rock? Yes. Did I find it eventually in the pouring rain and stand on top of the Keira Knightley rock? Yes, I did.
Oh, I love that.
Did I go to Chatsworth House and pretend like I was Lizzie Bennet? Yes, I did.
Oh,
so this movie mean a lot to me. And that's really just the simplicity of it. It's the most stunningly beautiful movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, plain and simple.
Yeah.
I can't, there's the only fault with this movie is the fact that it's too short. That's it. Yeah. That's the only fault with this movie.
So it's funny. I think more people would agree with you than you think. As far as loving the 1995 miniseries better. I literally can't make that decision. I'm like, I love them both, and I love them both for different reasons. And it's almost an unfair comparison because one is a mini series and has the many hours to work with. And this one, it doesn't have that advantage. It has to be shorter, because it's a theatrical movie. So the 1995 one is amazing. I love it so much. And it's a more faithful adaptation.
Right.
So it's the more faithful adaptation as far as like the plot and the story. But the 2005 one captures like the spirit of it perfectly. And I feel like this movie, compared to the 1995 one, is like a pure work of art.
Yes.
It's, I mean, everything artistically is stunning. I mean, some of the most beautiful filmmaking ever put to screen. I mean, so many shots, they just look like they're a painting.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even count how many shots look just like I said, like a work of art. Like you could frame it in your house. It's so stunning and beautiful.
I mean, I'm thinking of like 4 or 5. Just, I mean, I could literally just spit off.
I mean, yeah, the
scene of stunningly beautiful cinematography.
The one you're talking about when she's up there on the rock with the sweeping score and her hair blowing in the wind. When she's walking to Pemberley with the big tree, which is on the movie poster, because I had the movie poster in my room for the longest time of this film.
Him walking through the mist. Oh my God. Like, iconic.
That is, I think, the most romantic scene in a movie I've ever seen. I can't think of a more romantic scene, between the fact that it's such a brilliant stroke to stay on him for how long they do, they don't cut away till he's till you can see his face clearly, and then they finally cut away to her. That combined with, the cinematography and this beautiful field and that sweeping score. I mean, they just went all in on the romance in this movie. And that just makes the film for me. And then that, along with the scene where they're dancing, where everybody disappears, and it's just them. So this captures the romance of the story impeccably. I mean, it's so gorgeous. Shoot, who's the cinematographer? I didn't write that down.
Yeah, we should give them credit.
I need to give them credit because he was nominated for I'm pretty sure he was nominated for an Oscar, but he did not win. Let's see.
Well, I would like to know who did win. No, wait, do I still have that up?
Cinematographer Roman Osen. No, he didn't win. I remember he was not. Was he nominated? Wait. I think he wasn't even nominated. Because I was looking it up the other day and I'm like, wait, what? I think the set direction was, and the score. And is that it? Maybe the costumes?
Okay, so he was not nominated for cinematography.
That is insane to me.
The winner was Memoirs of a Geisha.
All right. Whatever. No offense to that film, but are people still talking about Memoirs of a Geisha? I don't think so. People still talking about Pride and Prejudice and how gorgeous it is. So, the Oscars are not the be all, the end all of things.
Kira was nominated for Best Actress. It was nominated for art direction.
Art direction and costume design, and the score.
Costume design.
Nothing won. I think it kept losing to Memoirs of a Geisha, I think.
Well, it lost Best Original Score to Brokeback Mountain, which that makes me really mad.
I mean, that score's fine. It's a case of rewarding the film, because the film was so, loved. I think more than Pride and Prejudice was.
The score of Brokeback Mountain, I felt like if I had to hear that same piece of music one more time, it was driving me nuts.
Yeah, it's used a lot. It's fun, but I think the score of Pride and Prejudice is better.
To each their own, I guess. But no, I think Pride and Prejudice, that should have been their Oscar for that score.
Yeah, it deserved to win at least one thing, and that it should have been that. And then I love the performances. I think Keira Knightley's a wonderful Elizabeth. I think I like her more than Jennifer Ely.
I think I do as well. Yeah.
I think because I feel like you see her falling in love with him more. I feel like you see the gradualness of it as compared to hers just seems like it sort of turns on a dime because she's so mad at him for so many times.
Yeah.
But I love how Matthew McFadden took a different approach to Darcy because it'd be impossible to duplicate what Colin Firth did. So it's hard for me to pick because they're different. He plays him more quiet and awkward and shy, and which I think is a really good approach to the character to make it different and stand out. And and he's very dashing, and they have really good chemistry. I mean, like you really feel the tension with them. And the attraction. Especially in that scene in the rain, which is so great, where they almost kiss even though they're fighting.
And he brings like a nervousness to the character. Like you can tell he's uncomfortable and he's almost a little shy and nervous and doesn't know what to say. Like you said, they're both completely different performances. I think they're just both phenomenal performances. I couldn't pick one either.
And I think Donald Sutherland's so good.
Yeah.
I love him. I mean, the other Mr. Bennett didn't make me cry, but he made me cry. In the end, when he's like, I couldn't have parted with you for anyone less worthy. That's beautiful. And Tom Hollander is great. Oh my God, as Mr. Collins. Again, playing it a little bit different, a little bit more awkward and dorky, and it makes me feel a little bit more sympathy for him comparatively.
Oh no.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because he's so freaking awkward. Especially when they go to meet Miss Catherine de Bourgh, and he's like half bowing, curtsying. I'm like, oh God, what are you doing? It's like, oh, you cringe.
Cringe. He's the definition.
I am very sympathetic toward people, even when they don't deserve it. So that's just me. But what was the other thing I was going to say? So the thing with this novel is the story. So I wrote a paper in college about Jane Austen's use of nature in the film's very specific and symbolic and stuff, where they're inside, they feel very repressed and can't express themselves fully, but when they're outside, they can.
So interesting.
When I saw this movie, I felt like it captured that perfectly. And I feel like it really got that idea so well, because even though it changed where the proposal is, they're still underneath something, so they're somewhat enclosed. And then the end scene, when it's outside in this beautiful field, and I know that's they're outside in the 1995 one, but it's more, no, it's just a nice sunny day and we're just walking, it's just sweet. And obviously slightly more faithful, but like I said, I just feel like it captures the spirit of it beautifully. And so that's why I love this film. That's why it's my number one.
I think we have room in the world for both. You have something that's much more faithful to the book, that it's just a great adaptation, but then you have the beautifully epic, grand, cinematic, romantic version of it, and both are fantastic. There's no right or wrong answer. I'm so glad we have both.
And because one's a theatrical movie and one is a miniseries, it's like I said, it's almost slightly unfair to compare them because it's a different beast, you know. Now you can compare the 2005 one to the 1940 version, and that's a nice movie, but it's, I mean, it doesn't even compare. It's like it's just a nice movie for what it is. It's not like a great adaptation of the story at all, you know. So much so that they literally changed Catherine DeBerg's character to make her nice because I guess they couldn't have someone mean in an old movie, you know. But that's like slightly blasphemous. I mean, like, no, that's wrong. She stays nasty through the whole thing. So, but yeah, the only thing we have left is your number one. And even though it didn't make my list, I do love it. oh, I didn't even notice that. I love that.
Number one, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. My favorite Star Wars film. Yeah, man. I remember going to see this in the theater, Thursday night, midnight showing of this. And I grew up with Star Wars. Like, my dad was a huge Star Wars fan. Like, we watched the original trilogy all the time, but it wasn't until this movie where I loved Star Wars. Like, this was the movie that solidified Star Wars as being a fandom in my life for the end of all time. My favorite thing that I really love about the Star Wars universe is the Jedi and Sith lore. This idea of good and evil, where that line is drawn, do the two overlap? And this movie really is the heart of that whole idea. Anakin's journey to the dark side, while it's tragic, it's not at all surprising when you think about everything that he's gone through. You know, watching what happened to his mother, and then you have Palpatine grooming him, and making him question, where do the Jedi stand? You know, are the Jedi really all good? And as the viewer, you start to question that too. You're like, wait a minute, they're doing some questionable things on their side too. So, if anything, like, this film is honestly just really heartbreaking when you think about all the implications of what's happening. I mean, Anakin's losing himself to Vader. Padme's dying of a broken heart. Obi-Wan's losing someone he thought to be his brother, basically. But it's such an integral part to the Skywalker saga, and it sets up what everyone was so desperately wanted, was that bridge into A New Hope and Luke's journey, the beginning of Luke's journey. This, I cry so many times during this movie. Like, like Order 66, oh my gosh, is heartbreaking. You know, the scenes on Mustafar with Anakin and Obi-Wan are just heartbreaking. Anakin killing the younglings, heartbreaking. I mean, this movie was so jam-packed full of emotion, which I was just not used to after watching like Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. It's just, I was not prepared for the amount of emotional impact this movie was going to have. And this all falls on Hayden Christensen. Like, I am so glad to be alive in the time where Hayden Christensen is finally being appreciated for his role as Anakin, because when this movie came out, the Star Wars bros were out for his head, and it was sad to see. It was sad to witness all that happening in real time. He didn't deserve all that crap. And now that the millennials are basically running the Star Wars world, we are now celebrating Revenge of the Sith, and what a great job Hayden did in this role. And it's so nice to see, like, going to conventions and seeing all the love that he's getting now, and how much everyone appreciates him. And It's really, really beautiful. Um, yeah, I you know, there this the movie's not perfect. There's certainly, George Lucas was never great at romantic dialogue. There's lines in this movie that I still cringe at to this day, and just thinking, what was he thinking? But when it comes to the really impactful parts of this story, I think it's definitely makes this the best of the Skywalker saga. And just like Voldemort, Darth Vader is a terrifying villain. And it's, like I said, really heartbreaking to see how he gets to that point. And you always just hope that there's still that good left in him somewhere. So yeah, I don't know what else more to say about this. I love this movie so much. I love Anakin Skywalker. I love Obi-Wan. I love Padme.
Yeah.
Yeah, great film. Great score too. This one
Yes.
had a really good score. Especially like the thing that sticks out to me the most is the music during the Order 66. Just truly devastating music in this film. But yeah, really, really well done.
So I grew up with Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I grew up watching the original trilogy on VHS. That's the first time I ever saw the films, and me and my brother watched them and just loved them. So when we heard about that they were going to make prequels, we're so excited. And I remember being really into them. I know you love them more than me, I will say. I like the original trilogy still the best. My favorite is The Empire Strikes Back. That's still my favorite Star Wars movie. Only because, now it's no fault of the actors, only because some of the acting sometimes feels a little stiff. But it's more the script,
yeah,
than the talent of the actors, because these are all very good actors, So it's more the script than the direction. So George Lucas is not the best director in the world, not the best. No. But Revenge of the Sith is my favorite of the three. I think it's by far the best one. And just because I don't love it as much as the original ones, or even like the newer ones, I think I like more, doesn't mean I still don't love them. I'm one of those crazy Star Wars fans that happens to like all the movies. Imagine that. It's like no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans, they say.
That's so true.
So critical of everything. I always loved. I felt like, for me, the heart and soul of the prequels was Ewan McGregor. I loved him as Obi-Wan Kenobi since Phantom Menace, but in Revenge of the Sith, he breaks my heart so much. This is the best acting of the three movies, I would say, from all of them, from Ewan, from Hayden, and from Natalie Portman as well.
Yeah.
So many moments break my heart when that fight on what's it called, Mustafar, when he's yelling and he's like, "You are my brother," and I'm just like, this is just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And then the moment with Padme where she's like, "You're breaking my heart. You're going down a path I can't follow," and it just that just gets to me, because I love Padme. I love her character. She's so beautiful and regal, but so strong and caring. And I feel like of all the Star Wars characters, I'm probably most like her, because I will see good in people.
Yeah,
for sure. And now, like, my niece and nephew have gotten into Star Wars, and my niece, she loves Padme so much. That's her favorite. Like, the other day I asked, "What's your favorite Disney character?" She's like, "Padme." I'm like, Okay.
Aw.
But I go, not Star Wars. I didn't mean Star Wars, but she loves Padme. And yeah, it's the best. It's the best of the three. Now it's been I need to rewatch them. It's been a long time since I've seen the prequels. I think I might actually just watch all of them in a row, because I don't think I've ever done that. I've only just watched like a trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched one trilogy, then another trilogy. I love the music of the prequels. I think it's stunning. I mean, and John Williams does repeat some of these themes in every movie. So, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like I love Duel of the Fates. I think that music is amazing.
Yeah.
Now that's in Revenge of the Sith too, when Yoda fighting someone?
Oh, yeah, he's fighting Palpatine.
No, you hear that music in that scene, right? I think so. I feel like you do, and it's great. And then I love the Across the Stars music, the love theme for Anakin and Padme. And I'm trying to remember if you hear that in Revenge of the Sith too. I feel like you do. I feel like the themes are repeated, and
yeah,
and the music is just some of his best Star Wars music, by far. And then I also think all the Phantom Menace and Revenge of the Sith have the best lightsaber battles.
Oh yes,
of any Star Wars film. Like the new films, what's the Last Jedi had a very good lightsaber fight in that red room, whatever it's called.
I really liked the one in The Force Awakens with Rey and Kylo in the woods, because that was like that was the first time where I really thought, oh man, those lightsabers look so real.
That's true.
The technology has really come a long way with making the lightsabers just look absolutely fantastic. And that, it was like they're bright lights, like in the dark woods with like the snow.
Yeah,
that was
good.
Just really stunning. But no, I do think the Revenge of the Sith lightsaber battle is my favorite on the Mustafar battle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know which one I like better, that one or the one in the Phantom Menace. It's the best choreography. I mean, the most exciting. The one in Revenge of the Sith is more emotional, so it has a deeper meaning. So I will give it probably that one the edge.
And it's incredible how good Hayden and Ewan
are
at lightsaber fight. I mean, like I used to watch around the time this movie came out, like all the training videos they would put out, like behind the scenes videos of them training. And it was just, I mean, that is like real talent to be able to fight like that. It was so cool to watch. And like they can still do it.
Yeah. That was the thing I was going to ask you about was, did you watch the Obi-Wan series?
I did, and I loved it. It was, if you had told me that 20 years I would get to see Hayden and Ewan back on screen, I would have said you were crazy. I've never ever would have thought. That show was so fulfilling. And honestly, like their final battle in that, where Vader's helmet is crushed and we get to see Anakin again and hear his voice. Man, that was an emotional punch to the gut. And you see on Obi-Wan's face, just he sees for the first time, like, my brother's gone. Like he is not in there anymore. This is a monster. And oh man, that broke my heart.
So good. I
was so good.
Yeah, I love the series so much. I was disappointed that people didn't like it. I'm like, what do you want? I'm like, what do you want? I'm like,
I don't know what people want.
And it's the only one of the Star Wars shows that I've watched the entire thing. I watched one episode of The Mandalorian, and I liked it. I probably will revisit that one, but I haven't watched any of the other ones. The only one I watched fully was Obi-Wan, because that's what I'm attached to. I'm attached to those characters.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see how it was, and I was so happy that it was good. And yeah, they haven't missed a beat. They're still so great, and like you, I'm so happy to see people finally like showing love to the films, and especially to the actors, because they deserve it, and they didn't deserve the hate and the criticism to the degree that it was.
No.
Especially poor Hayden, especially I mean, they even did it to the little boy. I mean, he's a child. I mean, like, poor baby. And Hayden was young. I mean, how old was he? Like, was he
especially in that second one?
Yeah, was he just a teenager? I mean, he was pretty darn young. And
yeah.
So, and he was good for the script, which could be clunky. The actors did what they could with it.
He was also playing a teen. I mean, teens are whiny. They're annoying. I mean,
did I forget how whiny Luke Skywalker was in the first Star Wars movie? I'm like father, like son there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he seemed just like Mark Hamill in the first movie. But yeah, just because it didn't make my list, I knew it was going to make your list. So I'm like, okay, I can leave it off. And it's been so long since I've watched it, though. I really need to. I want to have a Star Wars saga and just start at one and watch like all of them all in a row.
I feel like I watch that movie at least 10 times a year, if not more.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
Like, I just saw it. Saw it in the theater. Actually, it was fun to see it in the theater again
for the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, cool. I saw that and Pride and Prejudice in the theater again this year.
Oh, I'm jealous. I know. I don't remember what was going on that I missed Pride and Prejudice in the movie theater, but
I gotta say it's so fun now because everyone in that theater, look, we're all the same. We all have the same love for these movies. And so when you're watching Pride and Prejudice with a group full of women your age who were all there 20 years ago, and now it's like you all have the exact same vocal reactions to things, and it's just so fun. And then you go see Revenge of the Sith, and it's like everyone's yelling at the screen and they're quoting lines, and it's just fun.
I was gonna ask that, like, was there a lot of people there for Revenge of the
yes
Sith?
Both totally full of millennials just wanting that nostalgia from 20 years ago.
I'd love to see it. But so that's gonna do it for our list of our favorite movies from 2005, 20th anniversary of these films. Let's recap our top 5.
Okay. So my honorable mentions were Walk the Line, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and Match Point. My number 5 was Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Number 4 was Rent. Number 3 was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Number 2 was Pride and Prejudice. And number 1 was Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
So my honorable mentions were Bewitched, Flight Plan, The Family Stone, and The Chronicles of Narnia. And then my top 5, my 5 was Just Like Heaven, 4, Elizabethtown, 3, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, 2, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and 1, Pride and Prejudice. So that's going to do it. Thank you for being my guest again.
Thank you.
I hope everyone enjoyed watching or listening to this. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season and new year. I'm not sure. It's probably going to come out just before the end of the year. So I hope everyone has a beautiful start to 2026 and a beautiful end to 2025. Please give this a like, leave a comment, subscribe, do all the things. I would really, really appreciate it. And I hope everyone has a beautiful day and stay nerdy. Take care. Bye.